I have an old Stihl 028WB that has decided not to start this year. With new gas, it tries to start, but won't even idle. I rebuilt the Tillotson carb and it seems to be getting fuel. Put in a new spark plug, but when I checked that I was getting spark, there was only a feeble yellow spark that wouldn't jump a widened gap. Now, I'm thinking ignition issues. Should I go with coil, points and condenser, or modernize with the electronic type? Does the electronic coil module replace the old coil and the points and condenser? That looks like a simpler fix as I wouldn't have to pull the flywheel. Thanks.
Hello, if you spray carb cleaner directly into the carb, will it fire? If not, does it feel like there is compression? If it does fire and shuts right off, there's a fuel issue. There is a rubber intake boot between the cylinder and the air box, and over time it could rot and crack. Remove the starter to have a look at it. See page 7 here. Vince 0.41728.59224167882.
It doesn't seem to start and run any longer whether or not I prime the carb or the cylinder. After several, 10 to 20, pulls, it stops teasing me and won't fire at all. I did trace the fuel supply lines and they seem soft, pliable and intact. Also, after multiple pulls, the saw seems to flood with fuel noted at the muffler. As far as compression, it seems as tight as ever. As a backyard, novice mechanic, I don't have a way to actually check the compression.
The saw is definitely flooded. Put switch in the off position and remove the plug. Turn saw upside down and pull rope several times to blow any excess gas out of the engine. Set plug on a rag or napkin to dry it. Reinstall the plug and try to start without using the choke and having the throttle latch on.
I've tried that, no change.
Does gas continue to blow out the muffler? What color was the plug you removed? Reddish brown is good and gray is bad. Can you see a spark while checking with the plug installed and using a spare plug in the wire?
Didn't try it that way. I pulled the plug, grounded it against the cylinder and, as I said in the initial question, saw a yellow spark when it was at the required gap, but no spark when I widened the gap to approximately 1/8.
With the plug in, it simulates under a slight load.
Shouldn't I get a blue spark either way?
Blue is best. I am looking for service manual info now. Have you checked the air gap between flywheel and coil? After checking the air gap and rechecking to see if there's spark and you are sure it has compression, the intake boot is not cracked and the carb is not flooding through, then the ignition could be the problem. Here is a site that has the replacement part for sale. You can also contact your Stihl dealer. http://www.lilredbarn.net/product p/9358.htm. Here is a manual I have. Maybe some of the info on how to check things will help. http://www.mediafire.com/?of653 Kosud 7 skv3 dvbor 3b.
So, my original question wasn't answered. Does the Lil Red Barn replacement coil you listed replace the coil in the points and condenser? Thanks.
Yes, it says it works with the 028WB. If you do purchase from it, won't hurt to ask if it replaces the point style and if returnable if it worked for some reason. You would need a special tool to if you were replace or reset the points. There are also several ignition coils for points and cons style for sale on eBay. Vinso.41728.8193396991.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.